And the star of Dirty Grandpa, Robert De Niro, getting censored by The View after raging like a bull who saw a red MAGA hat.
And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French, it's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country.
Robert De Niro was once celebrated as one of Hollywood's greatest stars, but today he often finds himself at the center of political controversy. His heated remarks can seem more emotional than convincing. Then Greg Gutfeld stepped in, calm, quick-thinking, and direct. What followed felt less like a debate and more like a complete dismantling of De Niro's arguments. Gutfeld challenged every point, gradually stripping away the tough image and revealing what many saw as a celebrity disconnected from reality. It was no longer just entertainment, it looked like a public unraveling that was difficult to watch and impossible to overlook.
Robert De Niro graced the knitting circle in hell known as The View, where he tried to link random thoughts into a sentence. Joy was there to wind him up, since he's played some of the most unredeemable characters.
You have played some of the most really unredeemable characters. Travis Bickle. Travis Bickle was a psychopathic taxi driver. Jake LaMotta, who used to beat his wife, and he was in The Raging Bull. Is Trump worse than they are?
To me, he is. He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world.
If you're enjoying this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. Robert De Niro, once known as one of Hollywood's most respected actors, has recently become known for his controversial public outbursts. The actor who built his reputation through powerful performances now often makes headlines for political comments that leave many people shaking their heads. Just when it seemed his public image couldn't take another hit, Greg Gutfeld stepped in with a calm and confident approach, challenging De Niro's statements and adding even more pressure to an already damaged reputation.
De Niro kind of represents Hollywood in the sense that they realize that they're losing influence with the public, and that's what's generating the emotional response. They've never felt less important.
It just doesn't feel like 2016 again. Like we lived through that. Did they forget?
Yeah.
It also feels like they forgot that. Remember, just this week we had Kamala Harris dropping the F-bomb at a group.
Now back to the drama. No grand entrance and no special build-up, just Greg Gutfeld stepping in. With a calm expression and sharp remarks, he went straight after a man who seems to rely more on shouting than making strong arguments. The criticism didn't begin with anger or emotion. Instead, it came with a measured and deliberate approach, as Gutfeld carefully pointed out what many viewed as a growing disconnect between De Niro's confidence and reality.
Robert De Niro's 29-year-old child, Aaron, has come out as transgender. When the press asked her for comment, she said, "You talking to they, them?" Thank you. Last night, an elderly, confused man went missing in New York. Luckily, a band of self-satisfied elitists found him babbling on the street, threw some pants on him, gave him a stage.
And the truth is, this hardly seemed like an even contest because De Niro had already given critics plenty to work with. Many now see him as a Hollywood figure struggling to let go of the spotlight, showing up at public events with visible frustration and constant complaints. The actor whose performances once captivated audiences now often attracts attention for his outspoken reactions rather than his work, leaving many people surprised by how much his public image has changed.
You really worry that if he were to win again, and I'm not saying this like it's such a far-fetched notion, if he were to win again, that he would not give up power?
You know he won't. You know he won't. He even said it. He's never going to give it up. And anybody who deludes themselves in thinking that he is.
If you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe for more. Gutfeld doesn't need to invent criticism or exaggerate anything, he simply points to what De Niro says and does publicly. The subtle, controlled presence that once made De Niro such a respected actor seems to have faded over time. Where audiences once saw depth, mystery, and powerful performances, many now see constant political complaints and public frustration, leading some to question whether the talent that made him a legend is still as visible as it once was.
Trump.
Talk about persuasive. Really, I was on the fence about Trump, but then I decided to really listen to one of the great generational leaders of American pop culture. And the clenched fist at the end, that really drove it home. It looked like he was pressing a 2-pound weight in a Jenny Craig commercial.
Oh my God.
Look at it again. It's so cute. It's like he found out the restaurant serves Jell-O, or that he won a $10 scratch off.
And no, that movie title is completely real. It was an actual film and, for many viewers, a disappointing moment in an otherwise legendary career. The same actor who delivered unforgettable performances in iconic roles later chose projects that left audiences wondering what happened. Greg Gutfeld doesn't have to exaggerate the situation because the contrast speaks for itself. De Niro's choices over the past decade have led many critics to question the direction of his career. What was once seen as a symbol of excellence now often attracts attention for controversy, frustration, and public outbursts. But the discussion goes beyond movies. The modern version of De Niro frequently appears in political debates and television appearances with the same intensity, often relying more on emotion than persuasion. Gutfeld's criticism isn't aimed at the actor De Niro once was. Instead, it focuses on the gap between the respected Hollywood legend people remember and the public figure they see today. Rather than piling on, Gutfeld simply points to De Niro's own words and actions, arguing that they reveal far more than any critic ever could.
Trump's rise coincides with De Niro's decline, and the person who knows it most is De Niro. He's a fine example of how not to turn loss into bitterness. There are plenty of people who don't like Trump, but don't let it warp their minds or their ability to speak aloud among grown-ups or The View. But the Schiffs and De Niros of the world are emotionally damaged by politics to a point where they can't even assess their own emotions. Being an actor is tough, for how does one handle real life without a script? Not equipped to think analytically, you're left powerless when observing your own predictions about life turn out wrong. It's not supposed to be this way, De Niro thinks. Only the cool guys get to win. Sorry, Bob, that's only in the movies, but at least you'll always have joy.
What's more surprising to watch, De Niro's constant frustration or the calm way Gutfeld responds to it? Every political speech or public comment seems packed with emotion, but many people struggle to find a clear message behind it. De Niro often speaks with intense urgency, as if every issue is a major crisis. Gutfeld doesn't need to mock the content of those remarks because the presentation often draws attention on its own. The animated gestures, the visible anger, and the serious expressions that once added power to his performances now create a very different impression. It often seems like he can't stay away from a microphone, turning interviews, events, and public appearances into another opportunity to make his views known. To critics, the biggest issue isn't what he says, it's the growing lack of self-awareness that appears to come with it.
Understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
De Niro clearly has thought about this, more so than his career. His choice of roles is now down to cinnamon and lobster. He was then asked about the Trump kids. At least he doesn't want my kids to take this the wrong way.
Before we continue, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Gutfeld's criticism isn't based on De Niro's success in the past. It comes from the belief that De Niro still speaks as if every public comment carries the same influence it once did. These days, many people seem less interested in what he says and more interested in what he might say next. His interviews often generate attention not for their insight, but for the reactions they create. Even longtime fans who once celebrated his performances now find themselves discussing his public appearances instead. Gutfeld doesn't need to launch personal attacks. He simply points to the contrast between the respected actor many admired and the public figure people see today. Critics argue that what was once a commanding presence now feels like a constant cycle of frustration and complaints. Yet De Niro continues to take every stage and microphone available, keeping himself at the center of attention. To some observers, it no longer feels like a Hollywood success story, it feels like an ongoing public spectacle that never seems to end.
And they don't like most of the Trump voters because they are Americans. And De Niro, how stupid is he without a script? Isn't that amazing? I used to think, wow, that guy's brilliant. But once you take the words away from him, he is so stupid. That thing when he says, impeachment will make America great again, and everybody's, how intellectually deprived he is. He's a coke-addled simpleton.
And Gutfeld keeps paying attention. He doesn't just highlight what he sees as the contradictions, he focuses on them because they continue to attract attention. To many observers, De Niro's public appearances have become difficult to ignore, with each new interview creating fresh debate. Even some of his familiar mannerisms, once associated with powerful performances, are now viewed very differently by critics. The most surprising part is that he could have easily remained one of Hollywood's most respected legends, remembered primarily for his remarkable career. Instead, he has chosen to stay deeply involved in public and political controversies, keeping himself in the headlines. Gutfeld's argument isn't simply about criticism, it's about the contrast between the actor people admired for decades and the public figure they see today. He suggests that the situation is less about changing times and more about personal choices. In that view, De Niro's struggles with public perception are not something happening to him, they are the result of decisions he continues to make himself.
De Niro thinks only the cool guys get to win. Sorry, Bob, that's only in the movies, but at least you'll always have joy. You know, when dislike is so emotional, Katie, I always think it means something else. Like he's actually thought about this, like, you know, he's like, it's in his head, and I can't help but think it's because they're of similar age and they're both New Yorkers.
And in the end, De Niro may still receive awards, applause, and recognition. Much of that respect comes from the remarkable work that made him a Hollywood legend in the first place. Yet critics argue that his recent public appearances often create more attention than his current projects. Gutfeld's central point is that many people now see a gap between the actor they once admired and the public figure they see today. He suggests that strong emotions and frequent political comments have started to overshadow the legacy that made De Niro famous. For Gutfeld, the discussion isn't really about the past, it's about what is happening now. And as long as De Niro continues putting himself at the center of public controversy, the criticism is unlikely to stop. In his view, De Niro didn't become the focus of these debates by accident. Through his own words and actions, he has kept the spotlight firmly on himself, giving critics plenty to discuss along the way.
To take this the wrong way, but if my kids did what these kids did, I wouldn't want to be related to them. I would disown them.
Whoa, this is sad. Here you have someone pretending to be a tough guy turn out to be just a second banana for Joy Behar, the poster child for Trump derangement. Sadly, Bob is now just another gibbering, enfeebled ninny, surrounded by inept relatives as he frets about how Trump's in power. And
Gutfeld continued his criticism as if there were a new award category for public self-sabotage. In his view, the actor once praised for unforgettable performances now seems more known for controversial appearances and frustrated commentary. The same man who once commanded attention on the big screen often appears in interviews that leave viewers questioning where the conversation is headed. Gutfeld pointed to recent media appearances where De Niro appeared uncomfortable and struggled to deliver clear answers. He argued that simple questions frequently turn into long speeches filled with personal opinions and complaints. According to critics, De Niro has increasingly made his public persona the main attraction, relying on the same intense expressions and emotional reactions that once worked so well in films. Despite criticism surrounding some of his recent projects and appearances, he continues to speak with complete confidence, keeping himself firmly in the spotlight and giving commentators like Gutfeld plenty of material to discuss.
You know, Richard, when the other team, let's say your team, grabs clips of, say, from The Five or Sean Hannity or Jesse's show, they could say we're wrong, but they can't say they're acting crazy, like we have fun. But why is it on the other side, let's say the MSNBC, the CNN, the View side, when they actually appear like they have psychological issues, that this stuff is so ingrained, this Trump derangement, that they are mentally ill? De Niro clearly is having problems. His therapist is getting paid a lot.
But the main focus of Gutfeld's criticism was De Niro's habit of calling out people who disagree with him. According to Gutfeld, De Niro often presents himself as a moral authority, quick to judge opposing views while rarely questioning his own positions. He pointed to what he sees as a contradiction between the working-class characters that made De Niro famous and the public image he projects today. Gutfeld argued that De Niro now speaks from a position that many people find disconnected from everyday life. The criticism practically writes itself, he suggested, because De Niro's public comments often provide the material. Despite growing criticism and a changing public response, De Niro continues to act with the confidence of someone who still believes his influence remains unchanged. As Gutfeld kept highlighting these issues, he made it clear that the debate was far from over. If you enjoy sharp commentary and discussions like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more.